That's
Now,
exactly right.
When you
Bill.
run a lot of work and you understand what contracting is all about one day, and I talked this to the people, and I remember one job I was running, this goes back a while, and we were doing a major addition on a house, and the bottom line was it looked so easy, and then the woman threw us off the job and wanted to become a boss.
That's right.
And I gave her the phone numbers.
What happened, Mike?
I gave her the phone numbers of all my subs, and I said, this is how it goes. Try it. See how it works out. Right. The next day, Steve, her husband, calls me up and says, Mike, you're back on the job. Somehow she's not being able to move the job.
Mike, again, line one. Who's on line one out there?
Hi there. This is Mike from the ABCs. Can we help you?
Hi, this is Alan from Chester.
Hi, Alan. How you doing?
Good. I have a question about if you want to find a contractor for like specialty stuff. Like we were thinking of installing a wood-burning stove or something that's a little bit other than normal construction. And I'm afraid some of these places that sell these things aren't necessarily the best certified. This is fire prevention and stuff like that.
Well,
first, let me thank you for calling. Let me put Billy on the phone.
Yeah, Bill knows
This is
things.
Bill's more or less expertise on this end.
yeah, the companies that do sell and install, they are the experts, and you'll never be able to find them. But there are guys out there who are very small companies who've been doing this for 20, 30 years, and they're the best. The guys that are in business for themselves, okay, rather than one of the large chains who have 30, 40 trucks and sending out 30, 40 crews. But the guy who works for himself, that's the best, and they're the hardest to find because they've got less of a advertising budget.
That's right.
And they're gonna be advertising in the penny savers rather than in the regional paper. So these are the guys that, again, word of mouth. We go on a project, and no matter what we're doing, we go into a development, and all of a sudden the neighbor comes over, and the neighbor comes over, and they're recommending their family and friends, and so we don't have to advertise at all.
That's right. It's word of mouth.
Word of mouth,
that's
because
word of
your
mouth.
work speaks for itself. And that's what you're really looking for.
I think you go back to the point, you take a small contractor, and if he's doing it and you explain your situation, he says, let me show you one or two jobs that I've done so you get an idea what's going on, so you get a visual.
That's right. Alan,
That's a good start.
If you go back to our checklist that we just went through, though, you can apply that to even the smallest of jobs. Not that it's a small job. I mean, it's an expensive job to put in a stove. But always check if the person you're doing business with or you're calling for the estimate is licensed or has done it for a while. Check the Consumer Affairs again, see if his name's on there. If not, you get yourself 3 estimates from 3 other guys and check their references. Ask to talk to 2 or 3 people that he's installed for.
You know something? It's not embarrassing to tell a contractor you're taking other bids.
And getting it, and you want references. And those 2 things right there, you can use your own head then, just by talking to individuals like yourself who've had the work done. If there was a problem, they'll let you know. Even if it's a small one and they're pretty much 90% satisfied, that 10% of unsatisfaction that they have had, you will hear about it. And if you get that from 3 people from 1 guy, then somewhere along the way you might have that same little dissatisfaction with something, and maybe he's not the person to work with. If you get 1 out of 3 people from references that say they had a problem, then you can weigh that yourself and see. But normally, most of these guys with the small type of work, they do 100%.
Let him review it with you. Let him show you some work. Speak to those people and references, and do that 3 times.
Approximately 5 years ago, I had a wood-burning stove put in my basement, and I have a ranch house, and JB Fireplaces out of, and I'll give him a free plug here. JB Fireplaces out of Ramsey, New Jersey.
Yes.
Okay, and I got to tell you something. This man is booked 6 to 9 months out with work because he is so meticulous and so good at what he does.
That's how it works.
That's how it works. You really have got to talk and ask and talk to the people in your community, talk to your friends, talk to your neighbors, talk to your relatives, and you'll find a guy like Jonathan from JB Fireplaces down in Ramsey, New Jersey, and that's who I would call.
There you go. How's that, Alan?
That's good advice, and I enjoyed the show. Thank you guys a lot.
All right, great
Appreciate
for listening, and have a happy holiday.
Yeah, same to you. Bye-bye.
Okay, nice. There's a little aside question for you folks out there looking for wood-burning stoves.
If you have a question, even though we're talking about other things, just jump in, really. We'll be distracted easily, believe me.
Okay, so should we get back to this? Or
3 bids. We got
3 bids. Rich, why don't we go out on a break here, and we'll come back in a moment. We're going to take off on the ABCs of Home Improvement, and we'll finish up the show here with some legal mumbo-jumbo.